Far, far away in the forest, the villagers of Gantung warned their children, never stray beyond the tree line after dark, never answer an unfamiliar voice calling your name, and never, ever ignore the sound of laughter in the wind. Because if you do, she will find you. Her voice is soft at first, a whisper tickling the back of your neck, then a giggle, sweet, inviting. But the moment you feel safe, the laughter twists into something else, something unnatural, something hungry. They say she was once a woman, but now she is a nightmare. This is how she was born. Long ago, before the village of Gantung Biru became a place of whispered warnings, there lived a woman named Sari. She was the kind of beauty that made men forget their own names. Long, raven black hair, eyes deep as the midnight sky, and a voice like a lullaby drifting through the trees. But beauty is a curse. Sari belonged to Radin Arya, the son of the village chief. Or so she thought. They met in secret beneath the great banyan tree, where he promised her a future, whispered vows of love under the cloak of darkness. But men like Raiden were weak. When his father arranged his marriage to the daughter of a nobleman, Raiden did not fight. He did not beg, did not resist. He bowed his head like a loyal dog and walked away, leaving Sari with nothing but the weight of his betrayal and the life growing inside her. Sari pleaded with him. She clutched his hands, begged him to remember his promises, their love, their unborn child. Raiden's face darkened. No one must know, he hissed. Get rid of it, Sari recoiled, nausea churning in her gut. This is your child, Raiden. His expression twisted into something cruel. That thing will ruin me. The words hit harder than any blade. When the village elders heard of Sari's pregnancy, they did not see a woman scorned. They saw disgrace. The chief's son could not be shamed. Sari was the villain, a temptress, a stain on their honor. The punishment was decided before she could even plead her case. She was cast out, banished, left to die alone in the jungle. As she stood at the edge of the village, the villagers, her friends, her neighbors, those she had grown up with, turned their backs. Even the women who once admired her whispered cruel things. No one would stand beside her, not even him. He jungle was alive with things that moved in the dark. Sari wandered deeper, her body weak, her stomach swollen with the child who would never know love. She screamed for help, but the trees swallowed her voice. Nights turned into weeks. The hunger clawed at her ribs, the thirst burned her throat. But the worst was the silence and the eyes. Something was watching her, something ancient, something waiting. Then came the storm. Lightning slashed across the sky as Sari fell to her knees, pain splitting her body apart. The baby was coming. She clutched the roots of an old banana tree, her fingernails digging deep into the bark as waves of agony ripped through her. She screamed, the sky cracked open, the trees swayed, the ground trembled. Then, silence. The child did not cry. Sari looked down, her breath shallow, her hands shaking as she lifted the tiny body, pale, still, cold. Her baby was dead. For a moment, there was only the sound of rain. Then something shifted, a whisper, a voice curling through the trees like smoke. Soft, soothing. He was never meant to live. The voice slithered into her ears, into her mind, filling every hollow part of her with something dark. You are meant for so much more. Sari's grief twisted into something else, something venomous, something unstoppable. Her screams turned into laughter, low, guttural, rising into something inhuman. Her eyes blackened, her nails curled into talons, her beautiful face contorted into something monstrous. The storm raged, and in the shadows something was born, something that would never die. The villagers never saw her return. The deaths began that very night. Dharma, the farmer who had spat at Sari when she begged for mercy, was the first. His body was found in his hut, limbs twisted, his face frozen in a silent scream. His chest was torn open, his heart missing. The villagers tried to explain it away. A wild animal, they said. An accident. Then came the second death. A woman who had once been Sari's friend, who had turned her back when she needed her most. She was found hanging from a tree, her own hair wrapped tightly around her throat. Whispers spread like fire. Something was in the village. Something with long black hair and dead, hollow eyes. Something that laughed when the wind howled. And then, someone saw her, a man returning from the river at dusk. He caught a glimpse of a woman in a white gown, standing beneath the banyan tree. Her back was turned, her hair cascading down her spine, swaying as if moved by an unseen breeze. He called out to her. She turned. The thing that faced him was not human. Her lips stretched wide, too wide, revealing rows of jagged, blood-stained teeth. Her eyes were empty voids, swallowing the light. Then she laughed. The man's scream never left his throat. They tried to cleanse the village. They burned offerings, whispered prayers, nailed charms to their doors. But the Kuntilanak does not forget. She waits in the shadows, hiding in banana trees, in abandoned houses, in the darkest corners of the night. They say, if you hear her laughter softly, she is far away. If you hear it loud, she is already behind you. And if you feel a soft breath against your neck, but see nothing when you turn, run, but it won't matter. She always catches them in the end, and when she does, she never stops laughing. The villagers of Gantung Biru are gone now. No one knows what happened. One by one, they vanished, their homes left to rot, their belongings untouched. But if you wander too deep into the jungle, past the old banyan tree, you might hear something. A giggle, a whisper, a voice that sounds almost human. Almost.